Welcome to another week of Midlife OneUp, everybody. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. My name is Rob,
And I'm Matt.
and as always, don't forget to like, subscribe our podcast. Those things do help the algorithm promote our tiny itty bitty podcast out to other people that might enjoy it as well. This week should be a pretty quick one. We got some recaps and some news about Destiny 2, about the new Gundam MQUX, which I know this is like the third week we talk about it, but this time just the release date, and patch 7.2 that's coming out for Final Fantasy 14 Online Dawn Trail. So, how was your week, Matt?
It was less than ideal, but only because of health issues.
So yeah, so Matt's been going through a little bit of a hard time, but nothing life threatening or anything. Just a little worrying, but he's doing okay now. Hopefully,
Yeah, exactly.
hopefully. Yeah.
But thanks for asking.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
My week was spectacular, for many reasons that we talked about offline. But yeah, not great, but it's okay. It's okay. It's the weekend now, and we got other things to talk about. So first up is the release date for Gundam GQ at Infinity X. And it looks like the stream time released by Amazon is April 8th, which means this is going to be an Amazon Prime release. So if you have Amazon Prime like me, great. You'll be watching it when it drops, just like me. If you don't, well, maybe it's time to borrow your friend's login and see if you can watch it that way. Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be done. There was a reason why it looks so Evangelion. When I was reading this article, I realized, like, look, it's actually being done by the same studio that did Evangelion. So
That was a good observation you made last time.
yeah, yeah, and the director, Tsurumaki, said that he's honored to serve as the director of Mobile Suit Gundam GQUX, the latest installment in the long-running Mobile Suit Gundam series. He said FLCL was enjoyed by many fans overseas, which brought me great joy. Now, after all these years, I'm truly delighted to be able to present this new title through digital streaming. I sincerely hope audiences around the world will watch and enjoy it. First, let's just talk about the fact that Japanese people are just so damn polite. I love it. And second, this director was involved in Fulikuli, or FLCL, which, if you haven't seen it, Matt, you should. It's completely crazy and random, but it's cool at the same time. It was very stylized, very stylized.
All right,
Um,
I'll check that out.
yeah. So it looks
You'll
like,
have to later tell me which streaming I can find it on.
yeah, I gotta see if it's still around. I mean, it's pretty old. It's a pretty old property. It was on Toonami, Adult Swim. That's where most people in the West saw it. That's what he's talking about. Like, that it was huge success here, mostly because the Cartoon Network's Adult Swim, and so yeah, I mean that was an amazing little show. They put a lot of people onto anime, and I didn't know prior to this article that he was involved with FLCL, or that the studio for Evangelion was involved with this. But I know now that last week when I said that this Gundam has a lot of influence from Fulikuli and from Evangelion, I was completely on the money. So it just turns out that's exactly what the influences are. So that's kind of cool. And let's see. The next thing we can talk about is the new Seekers of Eternity patch coming out with, or content coming out with patch 7.2.
That's coming up soon.
Yeah, it says late March. So a couple weeks maybe, right? A couple weeks.
Yeah, a couple of weeks, and we'll be able to enjoy that content, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, and the art looks really interesting. From the art, I can see a lot of spoilers here. Not going to supply them. I'll talk to you about them, what I think is going on here in the art. But yeah, so it looks like we're going to be continuing the story of the queen of the new sector, Solution 9, the Solution 9 city, which looks like she's not dead. And that's how the story ended up last time anyway, with her being not dead, even though we thought we had killed her and ended her.
correct. She ended up being quite not in the dead area.
Right. So there's a whole big storyline. If you haven't been up to date, uh, there's a whole city of people who basically couldn't die so long as they were productive, and they were given like these artificial souls in these little devices on their heads. So attached to their heads. So whenever they died, this soul energy would come in, heal them, and then bring them back up. Uh, One of the big tragedies about that whole society is that whenever anyone actually did die because they ran out of souls, that device that they had patched into their head was part of like it was connected to like a cloud service, believe it or not. So there's a giant cloud service, and what that cloud service would do is identify someone who died and was not coming back, and then delete that person from everyone's memory, so no one would mourn you, no one missed you. And as a matter of fact, it was such a neat cut, people wouldn't even notice it. They just carry on with their lives, like whatever, it's all good, you know. And
No, didn't even matter.
didn't even matter. And then when the Warrior of Light, your character, comes in, he he winds up having to put an end to that, because what they were the way they were collecting souls was a way that it would impact other people who very much did not want to be parted from their souls. So we ended that practice, and now a whole city of people are like, well, what happens when we die? What does that mean we don't come back? What? And they're all like, existential crisis mode. And all of a sudden, the queen that they thought was dead, and the reason why they couldn't be revived, is back. Now they're all hopeful and like, yay, maybe we'll be able to come back to life again. Not if we have anything to do about it.
Their whole lifestyle was changed thanks to us.
Thanks to us. May suck, but hey, that's the human condition. That's what we all live under. Too bad, too sad. Get over it. And they're like, maybe we'll come back. Well, no, not if we have anything to do with it. And believe me, the Warrior of Light has a lot to do with it. So that's not happening. But it'll be interesting to find out how that plays out. With the contents patch, we're going to get a new dungeon called the Underkeep. This is some of the imagery for that.
Which looks amazing. I like that boss that they showed right there. It's
Yeah.
kind of great looking.
Yeah, very mech looking. And we're also going to get a new trial. This seems to be the boss for that trial. Trials are...
Which looks amazing as well.
It does, yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, a trial is kind of like a mini raid where there is no trash. You just go in and you fight a boss, and then you get out. These are like story-driven bosses that they then turn into end-game encounters with like savage modes and whatever. And the savage modes usually drop like really cool gear. The regular trial modes are usually just really nice way to get some of the grind and get some of the currency you need in order to buy more endgame gear.
I like to jump in those and help carry people through them because of my prowess.
Right, yeah, he carries people through. So here's a recap of New to Best 7.2. Main scenario, Seekers of Eternity. What's the name of the scenario? Raid Dungeon, which we talked about. The Arcadian Cruiserweight Division. Oh no, we didn't talk. That's actually part of the continuation of the raid. The actual raid. Okay, cool. New Cosmic Exploration and new tool enhancement quests. The Cosmic Tools. This is going to be a way for crafters to get legendary crafting tools. They're usually really cool. They give amazing stats for your crafting, so which do matter because the stats actually make it either easier or harder for you to craft whatever it is you're trying to do. And some of the really high-end items that you can sell on the market board for really large amount of gold require some really high minimum stats to even be able to craft them. And in order to craft them successfully, much less high quality, which is what everyone wants, you need to have some serious stats on your side, and food and elixirs. So this will be kind of cool for everyone that likes to grind that up.
Plus, I'm sure they have some pretty cool looks to them as well.
Yeah. Something called the Crescent Isle, new dungeon, the Underkeep, which we talked about, the new trial, which we talked about, the new Unreal trial, which is like a whole other difficulty level of one old trial called Hell's Kier. Now they got the Unreal. Now every once in a while they'll release an Unreal version of one of the old trials. These are very difficult even for endgame players that are very well geared, but they usually reward really cool status symbol, weaponry, armor, mounts, so it's kind of really worth doing.
I Have you done any Unreal stuff?
As far as Unreal trials go, no, I've never done an Unreal trial, but the reason being is that none of the rewards have been what I would call motivating enough for me, someone who I don't mind raiding, but I don't really want to bash my head against the wall raider, to do that. And the Unreal trials, from what I have read, are pretty much like that. They're bash your head against the wall kind of shit. So not really my bag on that. We're gonna have new weapon enhancement quests for the phantom weapons. This would be for new legendary weapons for the combat classes. So they're gonna do legendary weapons for crafters and for the combat classes. So that's good.
That's exciting.
It is exciting. Usually they have some really cool looks to them. There's going to be a new Allied Society quest, which is kind of like saying a new faction. They're going to unlock called the Mamulja. These are half lizard or lizard humanoids, which are kind of cool. The further... Oh, sorry, were you going to say something, Matt?
I was just gonna say I always like getting society quests.
Yeah, me too. I do like the rewards to do that, and it's a very minimal grind. It usually takes nothing more than 10 or 15 minutes to grind every day. So it's pretty easy, and you do get up through the ranks fairly quickly as long as you do it every day. I think it only takes like maybe 2 weeks to max out, maybe 2 weeks to max out a new faction, if that. Yeah. So very quick rewards. Usually a minion and a mount, so it's always something. We're also gonna have the Inconceivably Further Hildebrand Adventures, which is like a really funny, lighthearted quest line.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's a really cool quest line in the game that's been in there. They added it as a lark during the Heaven's Word expansion, and the fan base fell in love with it. So then they put it in a few other patches, a few other expansions, but then they were like, okay, that's it, no more, no more. But the fan base was like, please do not do away with this. At this point, it's tradition and it's awesome. So that's why it's the Inconceivably Further Hildebrand Adventures, because the game director didn't think it would get this far. But yeah, it's still there.
It's outstanding.
Yeah. And then new Tomestones of Mathematics. This is going to be the new endgame currency that everyone will be farming to get the new endgame raid gear. New crafting recipes, which are always fun because they never tell you what new crafting recipes they added. You just gonna have to figure it out. And I always look forward to the new housing recipes and the new like cosmetic gear recipes. And it takes about a month or so to figure it all out and be like, oh, this is new. Oh, this is new. Wow, I haven't seen this before. But this is how you know that they're adding it, because then they right underneath they're like new mounts, minions, and emotes. So there you go. New corn servant quest. I don't know what the corn servant quest is, so I think
that's a minion of some sort. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but I've seen a minion called a corn servant. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
I'll have to go and double check that.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. And additional duty support and PvP updates. Now, I will never give you PvP updates. Mostly because I don't play the PvP in this game. It's not that it's bad. It's actually good. Some people say it's gotten better. I don't care. I just don't care. I'm sorry.
I've only done a bit of it. Only because there is that set, the tanking and the striking set that I wanted to get. And they both looked really good. So I'm like, I have to get them. And after I got them, that's all I did. That's it.
Oh, yeah. I did not. I just couldn't summon the. But I've been like that since WoW. Honestly, one of the big reasons why I left World of Warcraft was because they just wanted to force people into doing PvP in just
How
to
get. Many PvP matches did we do together? Like 3.
Like 3. But they were so big on forcing people to do PvP by saying, well, if you want to get all the best in slot items, then you have to do PvP. Or if you want to get raid gear faster, then you have to do PvP. And it never sat well with me. So I didn't like it at all. That's one of the major reasons why I left World of Warcraft. I didn't like it. And then also they would constantly nerf the PvE abilities of the classes because of PvP, or vice versa. Because something was too powerful in PvE, the PvP would get nerfed. And
that never made sense to me.
Because they nerf everything. So it affects everything because unlike see in Final Fantasy when you go PvP, I do know this much. And you go PvP, you get a different action bar. You get a different set of abilities. Different set of abilities. And some abilities that you have or you unlock that you already know how to use because you have them in your PvE build, they don't even do the same thing in PvP.
No, they do not.
They do completely different things. So they have a completely separate mechanic system for their PvP. So when they have to nerf or adjust or balance PvP, it doesn't affect PvE. And when they have to do PvE, it doesn't affect PvP. Now, see, I've always thought that's how Blizzard should do the system in World of Warcraft. But because math is hard and because work is hard, they never did it. Yeah, numbers. They never did it. And it was... Never mind. It's just a really huge frustration for me. And one of the major reasons I left.
Again, tomestones of mathematics. They got numbers going over here.
Yeah, I got numbers going over here. All right, so moving on to Destiny 2 Guardian Games. The new Guardian Games, which is a yearly event, where it's kind of like an Olympics type event. Comes out every year. This year is going to add a new boss rush mode. From what the article says, it looks like what's going to happen is you're going to go into matchmaking, go in with some randos. This will be fun. And you're just going to be hit with boss after boss after boss, and you get a timer to kill the boss. Boss from the game, so throughout the years. So you can get Gary from the Red War, or you can get the Witch Queen. You can get, just a whole bunch of bosses, and you have to beat them within a certain time limit to keep advancing. The further you go, and the less time it takes for you to beat the boss, the better the rewards get. So,
I was gonna say, get this: the better your reward's gonna be.
Yeah. So it's kind of awesome. I know, kind of awesome. It's gonna be a new trace rifle that comes out. Matt was talking about this to me. What do you know about this trace rifle, Matt?
I know that I like this trace rifle. They've been kind of pushing trace rifles in Heresy, but I do like this one. Like the features that you're pointing there, it has Rolling Storm on it. It also has Jolting Impact and Recycled Energy. And there's a couple other trace rifles out here that are similar to this, but there was one that came out when the Iron Wolves were come out with Saladin. But this one's got a couple different features on it, and I like it. Plus, it looks great.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to have one of these immediately. You'll be able to get one of these, sort of like the Skimmer last season.
Yeah.
But
which was a surfboard, which was basically a giant hover surfboard. It was cool.
Right, but to have this permanently, you're gonna earn it. You have to earn this through a quest called Drop In. Now, I don't know what that is or how many or what that is all about, but that's all I know.
It's probably going to be a multi-step quest. Destiny is very famous for giving you a multi-step quest. You'll see it in the top right-hand corner of the quest itself. It'll say step 1 of however many steps. This will probably be a 15 or 20 step quest, I imagine, since they're going to do it like that. Because I know the Skimmer was pretty... You had to really get deep into the event and do really good in order to keep it. I just bought the package. There was a package with a whole other Skimmer that was themed after Yelorhorn, and I bought that and I was like, fuck this event. Because Matt loves the Guardian games. I'm not a huge fan of many of the events inside Guardian. Inside Destiny 2. I'm just not. I don't find them engaging. Matt loves them, but he's got a really strong grind ethic. I detest grinding. World of Warcraft made me grind. I burned out on World of Warcraft because of grinding. It was just something you had to do.
My brother.
It really has. Jesus Christ! Remember the what was the name of the expansion with the Ragnaros as the final boss? Jesus, the Burning. No, it wasn't the Burning Crusade. It was
Lich King.
Yeah, Burning Crusade, Lich King, and then it was oh my God, the Firelands one. I forgot what it was. Cataclysm. Yeah. So basically, all those expansions, including oh my God, Lich King, the Wrath of the Lich King expansion. That one
That was
was.
the best one. That was the best one.
It was the best expansion, but it had so much grinding in it. Like there was so much end game grinding. It's like you spent 99% of your time when you weren't raiding, like mining, uh, crafting elixirs,
Holy moly!
leatherworking.
I cannot tell you
Uh,
how much mining I did in that game. That
yeah.
it was ridiculous.
Oh, and grinding rep with like 3 or 4 different factions that you needed to grind rep in because each faction had best in slot gear, and you had to get you had to get your faction reputation up all the way to get access to the good stuff, and it was just
And
so,
that was back when you had to buy ammo.
yeah,
Remember?
that was back when we had to buy ammo
So
as
that was
hunters. Yeah,
extra painful.
yeah. So grinding is ruined for me. I don't enjoy grinding. Matt is okay with grinding. I am not. So yeah. But for those who grind and earn it, you get this. So you get like a really cool set of armor. This armor is usually some of the coolest looking, pretty gaudy, and with some of the nicest glow effects. And one of the cool things, and I will admit this is one of the cool things about the Guardian games, is whichever class does the best, meaning whichever class the players do the most with collectively gets a trophy at the tower with their representation of that class in gold, while the other ones are just in marble. So there's a statue in the tower with a lion that's being attacked by an eagle and being wrapped around its paw and almost being struck and bit by a snake. Now the snake represents the hunters. The eagle represents, or the hawk represents warlocks. And the lion, of course, are the titans. So when the titans won, the lion was golden and the other two were just marble. When the snake won, when the hunters won, it was like that. So it's a collective thing. So if more hunters contribute more points and more medals during the event, because it's actually medals that you turn in, then the hunters get to win the gold. You know, and then of course if
Who
you
do you
are,
think this season? Who do you think's going to pull off the win?
I don't know, man. I think this season, last season, was it the Warlocks last season that won, or
I,
or
I
was
thought
it
it
the
was
Titans?
Hunters.
Was it Hunters? I'd have to check this. I think this year it's gonna be the Titans. I do, because I think the Titans are fun to play. So I think this year Titans are gonna take it home. I do.
Titans are strong,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I'm feeling the Warlocks right now, but that might be a little bit of bias right there.
Yeah, yeah, just a little bit, right? Just a little bit.
Maybe because that's all I've been playing.
Oh my god. And so it looks like aside of that, they also announced a brand new limited time PvP mode called Heavy Metal that will arrive during Heresy Act 3. This will finally give players their chance to pilot a brig. There's also a Rite of 9 event that's geared for both Destiny 2 veterans and newcomers. I want to pilot a brig really badly. So
I'm really good at maneuvering those.
yeah, no. You know what the brig is, right? That's that big two-walker robot. It's not the tank.
Oh, it's the ones that drop in and they
Yeah.
have the two. Oh, wow.
Those are brigs. They're gonna have that in PvP mode. Are you fucking kidding me?
Holy moly, that's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be a limited time PvP mode called Heavy Metal. I have a feeling everyone drops in, gets in a brig, and it's gonna be like a mech battle royale in there. So I'm definitely gonna try that out. Because I think that's what's gonna happen. I'm definitely gonna be punching and shooting missiles at some fools in my brig. So yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Definite fun there.
Yeah. All right, everybody. This week, like I said, it was going to be a short week. Thank you for joining us. And again, hit like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications when we put out new content. And I just wanted to say we really do appreciate you coming by every week. To the few of you who've been with us since the beginning, and thanks. And like and subscribe, like I said, but also share it out. You know. Anyway, have a good one. My name is Rob.
And I'm Matt.
Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you.